Hello and welcome to lesson 12, where I'm going to tell you another word, a phrase that you should never ever use, because not only is it confusing, but if you go onto the internet and you see the discussion about please advise, you will see that people hate this expression. And in this video, I'll tell you why. Okay, the first thing we have to do is understand why we use advise. And we advise advise either because we want to help someone or that we need help from someone. So I would say, let me advise you. This is what a lawyer would say to his client, or an advisor would say to their client. Please let me advise you. Or you might say, could you advise me? In other words, can you help me in some way? And advice, which is the noun, is also about helping. Let me give you some advice. I need some advice. So advise is about getting help or offering help. The problem is that when you use the expression please advise, it can mean anything. Each context is different, and that means please advise hides any kind of message. With revert, most of the time, the message is respond or reply. But with please advise, it literally can mean anything at all. And we're going to have a look at some examples, and you'll see in the questions below how it can mean anything at all. But most importantly, when you're using this expression, please advise, what you are doing is you're literally showing the reader that you, as the writer, don't care about your message, so you don't care about what you're writing, or you don't care about them. Because then they have to work out, which is the fourth point here, the reader has to work out everything. And that, as I said in the last video, is not why we are writing. We are not writing to give the reader a puzzle. The reader doesn't have time for a puzzle. The reader wants to know information and act on information. When you get an email where you have to work out everything, as I said in the last video, you get angry, you get annoyed, you might not read the email, you might get it wrong. So why would you ask your reader, the person you're writing to do that thing that annoys you? Never, I say here don't, but never make the reader do the work of you as the writer. Okay, let's have a look at an example. There is a problem with the air conditioning, please advise. What could that mean? Lots of things could be the problem. The problem could be, I don't know how to call, I don't know who to call. I don't know how to fix the problem. I don't know what I should do. I don't know a number of other things that could be related to the air conditioning. It could be, for example, not that you are suffering because the air conditioning isn't working, but it could be because you're in charge of the air conditioning and you have to do something, and then you want to know what's the problem. So in both directions, or in any context connected to the area of air conditioning, whether you need it, whether you supply it, whether you're trying to fix it, whether you're trying to manage the problem, this phrase, please advise, doesn't communicate any kind of message at all. And so that means, as the reader, I then have to investigate and waste my time. I have to then phone up the person who wrote this message and ask, what do you want? What's going on? Can I help? How can I help? Etc, etc, etc. Whereas, if the person wrote, I don't know how to turn the air conditioning off, can you tell me how to do that? Then that question is a lot easier to answer. I could talk for hours about how people really hate please advise, but I'm not going to. But what I will do is leave you with these teaching tips. Never use please advise. Always take some moments and think about what the actual message is and write that clear message using a strong verb. And sometimes you need to think about what the message is, and that thinking process will help you write a clearer message. And once again, just like with revert, everyone else does it, native speakers do it, is never an excuse. Just because one person does something badly or incorrectly or wrongly, even native speakers, does not mean that you can do things incorrectly, badly or wrongly. Okay, your writing represents you. Your readers will react positively or negatively to your writing, which represents you. If you write clear messages with strong verbs, go back to the first lessons 1, 2, 3, 4. Have a look at those lessons again. Work on those strong verbs. If you use strong verbs, your clients, your readers will like reading your messages and they will react positively to your writing. Okay, time for some questions. What I would like you to do is read the sentences below and rewrite those sentences, thinking about what you think the actual message is. And I know it could be lots of different things. So just write down 1 or 2 ideas. And then once you've done that, have a look at my suggested answers and see if you agree with my answers or if you've thought of something else. Now remember, these are just suggested answers. There is no correct answer here. So for example, I can't understand this invoice, please advise, could be, could you please contact me? I don't understand why I've received this invoice. So you can see here, I've added in a few more extra words just to make the message a lot clearer. Okay, have fun doing those questions, and once you've finished, have a look at my suggested answers video.